everybody, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Today we are going to be checking out the latest patch from pngtuber, Résonance du Fantastique. Super excited, this released a few days ago. So yeah, let's see what's new in this patch and let's dive on in. Alright, we got some new stuff around here apparently. Ooh, very leap, okay. A rank, okay. Let's check that out first before we dive in. I know it's been a bit since we played Punishing Grey Raven, but yeah, let's do it. Rosen's Leap will enhance her blue orbs. Okay, that was a bit too fast. First, use a blue orb 3 ping to mark the enemy. When Night Field or Dark Field is present, core attacks, Dark Knight slashes will trigger explosions and healing when they hit a marked target. Okay. Casting the signature and maximum overclock points will make Vera enter the darkness form and create a night field.
Feed me. More pain.
In the darkness form, press and hold basic attack to convert all orbs into darkness orbs. Tap a darkness orb to cast Dark Knight Slash up to 4 times. Okay. Okay. After casting 4 hits of Dark Knight Slash, tap signature to unleash Dark Knight's End and leave darkness form. Okay. Okay, damn. After leaving the darkness form, the remaining darkness orbs will be converted into up to 3 blue orbs. Use a blue orb 3 ping to mark the enemy. Alright.
Doesn't it?
After Rosen is switched out, she will continue to cast core attacks to enemies inside the dark field, night field, dark field periodically. The infernal scorch marks on enemies will also trigger explosions and healing. Okay.
Let the filtering begin. I will bring you annihilation.
Okay. Dope.
This is the power of Ascension Network. Understood.
Also, yo, the ending song being changed. Thank you, bro. That was great. Ooh, no, new Capriccio skin. Okay. Let's see what they got.
Everything's ready. The overture begins.
Okay.
The Fantasia begins. It's time for a minuet.
Bro, the effects on this skin are great, dude.
Next is development. It's time for a minuet. The Fantasia begins.
Yo!
Thank you for appreciating the cadenza. Next is development. The Fantasia begins. It's time for a minuet.
Red orb, okay, loving the red here.
Next is development.
And boom!
Thank you for appreciating the cadenza. May this song echo through the future we wish for.
Now, I think I need to change my controls really quick, because, like, also that outro animation was great, but I think I need to change my controls, because I think it's been a bit since, so I think I want to change up the controls. Dodge, yeah, RT, rapid fire, yeah. Actually, no. I don't think my controls changed. So, yeah. Anyways. Let's go back to Celica's trial, I think it was. Yeah, Celica's class, or no. Trial zones. Ooh, Luna's new skin. This skin is honestly really nice, I won't lie.
Let the filtering begin.
I really like this skin, as opposed to her other skins, I won't lie.
Impossible. I will bring you annihilation.
Okay, yeah, the effects on these are amazing, I won't lie. God, my wallet is crying. God, my wallet is crying. Curl, man, you gotta stop making beautiful skins, dude. Please stop.
Let it be. I will bring you annihilation. Punishment will descend here.
Okay, yeah, the S3 is amazing, bro.
Impossible.
Who's letting Curl cook, bro? Who's letting them cook?
Here. I will bring you annihilation. Punishment will descend here.
Okay, yeah, it seems to be the end.
Annihilation. This is the power of Ascension Network. Understood.
Bro, that outro, dude. What the hell? Dude, this skin is great, dude. What the hell? Bro, they're cooking something hard. Ooh, and the new cub. So let's see the new cub in action. I haven't actually gotten to play the new Isla yet either, so yeah, let's go.
Creativity.
Rainbow requires pinging any six basic signal orbs to accumulate energy to cast its active skills, which can be charged twice. Okay. Each basic signal orb can accumulate 1 energy. Okay, it can be cast. Upon casting the skill, Rainbow will swim to the target to pull enemies in and cause an explosion, dealing damage. Okay. Bro. Triple dash. Okay. Aw, that's the little thingy. Upon casting this skill, Rainbow will swiftly swim forward, dealing damage to enemies in front multiple times, then quickly returns, hitting the enemies along the path again multiple times. Okay, check. I just want him. Oh, okay. When Kaleido casts Pure Color, theme emphasis color mix, clash of concepts with Rainbow equipped, Rainbow will pull in nearby enemies. Okay. Okay. When Kaleido casts Vibrant Brushstroke with Rainbow equipped, Rainbow will cast its own skill. Okay. Okay.
This story of ours has just begun.
Check, check. Hey, bro, this is great, dude. Bruh, I love this, man. Check, check. Alright, cool. Alright, dude. Man, this this stuff is just great. Okay. Okay, that expires in like a week. Okay, whatever. So yeah, I think for now, I kind of want to pull for a pet. Because I think that's like a prio. So yeah, I think I'm just going to do that. Pull for a pet. So yeah, let's go. Let's do some pulls. Pull number 1, come on. Ah, no. Ooh, loving the new... Ooh, loving the new UI for the polls. As well. Really loving it. Oh, early copy. Oh, 2? 3? Oh, god damn! 3? Jesus. 3 copies? Holy crap. Bro, what? 3? Holy shit. Did not expect to get 3 of them, bro. What the hell? Bruh. Dude. Oh, dude. Dude, that was amazing. Bruh. Did not expect to get 3 on the first 10 pull. I mean, on the second. Guaranteed, bro. What the hell? That was crazy, dude. Bruh. Did not expect that. I guess I can save now. Like, damn. Okay, bro. Okay. Alright. I guess with that done. This animation at the beginning screen, dude. It's amazing. Oh, an infant gallery as well, dude. Infinite gallery is just so good. Let's actually do some tutorial stage with Isla. To see how she plays.
Express yourself. Unleash creativity. Haha.
Ayo. Tap basic attack to swing the beam gun lance continuously to strike the target multiple times. Okay. Oh, the animation. Her animation, bro. Ping red orbs to slide around the target and deal ice damage to the targets in circles.
Do you understand the essence of Islaism yet?
Ping the yellow orbs to fire yellow paint forward, dealing ice damage. Okay.
World of imagination.
Ping blue orbs to splash blue paint forward, dealing ice damage to targets in range.
World of imagination.
Hey, nice. Okay. Okay.
This story of ours has just begun.
Core skill. Okay.
Express yourself. Unleash creativity. Haha.
The left side of the energy bar is the main color that is filled up by default, when the right side shows the secondary color that is currently unfilled. Making a 3 ping will fill the secondary color with the same color as the orb is pinged. Okay. When the main color and secondary color are different, press and hold basic attack to cast color mix. Clash of concepts that increase Isla's extra damage and clears the secondary color. The main color remains unaffected. Okay.
Understand the essence of Islaism yet?
Okay. When the main color and secondary color are the same, press and hold basic attack to cast pure color. Theme emphasis that increases Isla's ice damage bonus and clears the secondary color. The main color also changes. Okay. Okay. After casting pure color, theme emphasis or color mix clash of concepts. Isla store 1 backup paint that has the same color as the main color up to 3. Okay. Tap signature to consume 80 signature energy and activate the painter's realm. Okay. When Isla pings an orb within the painter's realm, she will ride the beam gun lance and draw a colorful trail. Damaging the target hit and consuming one backup paint to gain a set of 3 ping orbs of the same color. Okay. Okay, damn, okay. Tap signature to cast signature finishing touch.
In these new colors.
Yeah. Okay.
This story of ours has just begun.
Good lord, the animation, boys. Good lord, the animation. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy.
Express yourself. Unleash creativity.
Alright, let's see. Let's see if I can do this.
Do you understand the essence? The colors are wrong.
Oh god. Okay.
It's right.
Alright.
Time. Let's paint the future in these new colors. The colors are wrong.
Okay.
The canvas is ready.
Okay. Seems pretty simple to use, I guess.
Let's paint the future in these new colors. Yes, Eureka! Do you understand the essence of eyelids? The colors are wrong. The canvas is ready.
Okay.
Let's paint the future in these new colors. Yes, the colors are wrong.
Okay, not today.
A world of imagination. The canvas is ready.
Okay, boom, 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 boom.
Let's paint the future in
Let's
these
go.
new colors. Behold, a world of imagination. Do you understand the essence of ice? The canvas is
Come
ready.
on.
Ideas are blooming. Let's paint the future in these new colors. Behold, a world of the canvas is ready.
Come on. Boom, 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 boom,
Time
boom.
to paint. Let's paint the future in these new colors.
Hey, let's go.
Behold, a world of imagination. Do you understand the essence of the canvas is ready?
Hey.
Let's paint the future in these new colors.
Hey, let's go.
This story of ours has just
Okay.
begun.
Okay, I'll admit, Isla seems pretty fun and simple to use. I like it. I like it. Anyways, that was pretty good, I won't lie. Jesus. This is a long chapter, I'm guessing. Anyways, yeah, without further ado... Oh, Infinite Gallery is just so good. Anyways, without further ado, let us dive in to the new chapter. Renaissance du Fantastique. Let's go. The Daydream. Isla had her own little fantasies about what Earth would be like before her first assignment. Having only read about Earth in textbooks, she'd often imagined what's become of Earth now. The kind of poetry people on Earth are now writing, and how drastically different their culture must be from that of the Golden Age. She'd imagined herself coming across some unwithered spidered ivy in some ruins and giving them to her colleagues back at Babylonia. She'd imagined herself traveling through where all the past heroes once fought and commemorating them with a long overdue requiem. Cruel might be reality, and yet she was determined to remember every second of it by heart with her eyes wide open. All the while feeling uplifted by the idea that her artwork would rise to new heights with new experiences. Until, that is, reality shatters her imagination into pieces. Pieces upon which she now finds herself standing. Oh, damn. A team of a dozen constructs is now making its way through the wild. They've lost 2 members, and the survivors are not faring well, with severed neural circuits, alloy bones exposed, and coagulated clumps of vital fluid on their skin. Several constructs cannot walk without help. The pink-haired member walking at the end of the team is the least damaged of all, being one of which meant to be protected. She stares blankly at the team, keeping a distance from them. Having sensed the gloom in the air, one of the constructs walking at the front slows down until they reaches Isla. How are you holding up, Isla? You did really well for someone who came down for the first time. Thanks. I'm feeling okay. This is Isla's first ever big archaeological assignment since she joined the team. When WGAA discovered this archaeological site, it sent the team down to collect documents and relics that were left there. Task Force has cleaned the site, meaning that theoretically they weren't supposed to come across corrupted in droves. As fate would have it, however, they found themselves surrounded by countless corrupted, ones infected by previously undetected punishing virus, when the archaeological team traveled deep into the site with the Task Force team that had come along. The Task Force team managed to escort the archaeological team to safety with all the documents and precious relics they had, at the cost of 2 of its members' lives. You seem anything but okay, though. But it's common among our newcomers since there is a world of difference between up there and down here. It's going to take some time to get used to. I don't really know how to word it. But things just seem very different from what I thought they'd be. I mean, I still remember Rex's straight face and how he'd always suddenly crack everyone up with a joke out of nowhere, and how Faye said we'd be going to the next exhibit together after this mission. And now they're gone. I can totally relate. People have a false sense of security about what they're getting into. Thinking that they can just recall in the worst case scenario. But it is what it is, unfortunately, and life is the price we pay when we don't have backup plans to fall back on. We came to recycle technology and cultural relics from the Golden Age, and it's a breeze, relatively speaking, if you compare that with the task force what the task force is doing at the front lines. But you never know what's coming your way, and this time just so happens to be one of those days. This is probably just going to get more common down the road. I can submit a withdrawal request for you, though. If you're having a hard time adjusting, it happens, and WJGAA is okay with that. No, that's not what I mean. I'm not quitting. Seeing that Orpheus has misinterpreted her intention, Isla quickly shakes her head in denial. I just think I'm not up to snuff yet. I thought I was ready and all, but... Isla has seen war once in Babylonia. With remnants of ship afloat in the infinite expanse of the starry sky, a blast from a particle beam cannon instantly lights up in the otherwise pitch-black sky. At the moment, beholding the same view as her dear friend, she thought they had an unspoken rapport established between them. Hey, Flavia, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Isla thought she had understood her choice in her dream and why her friend chose to leave without bidding farewell. And yet she now sees that she knew nothing. Wow, dude. Oh yeah, this. When her friend was out at Hetero Space Station fighting the corrupted, Isla was sitting by a porthole looking down from Babylonia in the comfort of a greenhouse where gravity, humidity, and temperature had been adjusted to suitable levels. When she finally got a real taste of reality, however, Her legs grew so numb that she wasn't even able to take a step forward. Our paths will be rectified as long as we portray the world as it truly is. This is what Isla seemed to have heard when she saw the space station awash in the debris of war. It was a secret message Selena left her, and it was the answer that Isla's idealist of her friend had found at the end of her journey. Wow. Oh, dude. Bro, this arc go hard. Ah. And all I thought it was a heavenly revelation, and that following her dear friend's path would take her to where she herself wanted to go. Kind of a new game. Not really. I've played this game on the channel before, but it's a new chapter for the new game, yes. But when she saw the punishing torn world with her own eyes and heard weapons thrust through corrupted. Hey, what are you doing? Just keep moving with whatever you're holding. Our mission is to send you back home safe, guys, so do us a favor and soldier on now. And when she saw all the bloodstained constructs in the eye and witnessed people she had only just befriended torn into pieces. Not yet. No, not yet. I haven't tried Power World yet. I'll be honest. I may try it later, though. Power World later, though. She grew hesitant. She was not as brave as she thought she was. I wanted to see the world as it really is and put what I come across into my work, which is why I decided to have myself turn into a construct and join the WGAA. Creations like that are what I call real art. Yeah, I heard that too. Honestly, I might dive into it soon, once I get through this. Except it hit me that reality can't necessarily inspire people, and that reality might just be my own imagination of what it is. Because who's to say I'll be able to see the world in its entirety simply because I've come down here, right? And I'm just thinking that I've probably been a little too naive this whole time. What do you think? People tend to regard something as some higher truth if it revolutionizes their common sense. Does that hold true for this reality you're talking about too? I can't judge your feelings here, and I don't have an answer to your question, but there was this girl about your age, and I've been on several missions with her. On our way back from our first mission together, she entertained us with her favorite poem. He who mocks the infant's faith shall be mocked in age and death. In a gentle tone, Orpheus starts reciting a poem Isla knows by heart. He who teaches the child to doubt, the rotting grave shall he ne'er get out. This is one of Selena's favorite poems. He who respects the infant's faith triumphs over hell and death. He who doubts all that he sees, will he never believe. Do what you please. We're recorders, witnesses, articulators, and creators. What we fight, we cannot see. Which is why people mock us and have a hard time imagining the purpose we serve. Except we do know the purpose we serve, and it's a valuable form which we will not back down. And I can see it in your eyes that you too wish to stand guard for that value. Which is why the WGAA is honored to receive you with open arms, Isla. Yeah. Having finished their mission, the archaeological team arrived at a human settlement. The settlement is built upon a deserted city. While a far cry from most conservation areas in terms of infrastructure, the settlement has proper mechanics in place that make life here possible. It's also fairly safe, with ground force permanently stationed around. With Babylonia's transport craft still a good way out, the team has quite some time to spare in the settlement. Isla walks around the settlement, taking her time observing this place that's been put together by humans here who have built it with whatever they could get their hands on. When she looks into a simple tent, she sees an old mechanic pick out usable parts from a pile of mechanoid remains sent here by ground force. Passing by a makeshift outdoor kitchen that's really just a cooking range put under an overhanging meat rack, she sees the chef cooking with ingredients she never thought edible. She sees an old lady sewing an undershirt with a rusted needle and a man sharpening his hunting instruments with wasted parts. Isla beholds the sight quietly, her mind occupied by Orpheus's words from before. Eat this, you damn thing! Ugh! There are kids around taking turns being constructs and corrupted with twigs and make-believe. Hey, it's my turn to be a construct now. Hold on, it's my turn next. Boys will always be boys, eh? Ooh. With the boys making noises running all over the place, a girl catches Isla's attention. The girl sits quietly by herself at a wooden table with an open notebook in front of her, holding in her hand a hematite that's been cut into the shape of a strip, which she draws with. Occasionally putting her hand under her chin and looking at her picture with a frown, the girl is fully focused on drawing Millie. Millie says the words on the cloth badge sewn onto her jacket. Isla walks up to the girl and strikes up a conversation. Hey, I see you're drawing something. Isla can't be sure if Millie has heard her, as Millie keeps her eyes trained squarely on her, drawing in agitation. Seeing what's on the paper, however, Isla can't be sure how she would even begin to describe the drawing. What are you drawing? Turtles? Says Millie as she points at the clump on the picture that seems anything but turtle-like. And there are also birds and dogs, and I've got rabbits here too. Well, they certainly look interesting. Thanks for not just saying I'm doing a bad job. The girl reads Isla like an open book. Hey, that's not true at all. Do you like to draw? Well, I guess so. My dad said he found this notebook and gave it to me, and I just draw everything I see now so I get to show him what I saw when he gets home. Patrick and Aaron said my drawings are terrible though, so I decided to stop playing with them. My dad said he used to draw all the time, but he's too busy to teach me. Well, do you want me to show you how? Show you how then? Are you good? None of these people here can draw. Oh, but you're from Babylonia, right? Patrick said that the constructs from Babylonia are amazing. Are you good at drawing too? It depends on the person, but I do know a thing or two about drawing. Well, here, I have about 70 empty pages left. Try not to use too many of them, though. Isla sits down beside Millie, ever so carefully. Millie passes Isla her notebook and the hematite crayon. Any idea what you want me to draw? Are you okay with drawing anything? As long as it's something common enough, like kitties or puppies. I'm good with plants like dandelions and hyacinths, too. Well, can you draw me a hydrangea, then? A what? A hydrangea. I only know the name of the flower, but I have never seen it. There was another construct from Babylonia that brought me some hydrangea seeds. She told me hydrangeas have these beautiful blue flowers when they bloom. Don't worry, I will. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Have you seen hydrangeas? Are you really that pretty? Isla nods with a smile at Millie, who's looking at her excitedly. Well, I guess you can say I have, and yes, they're pretty when they bloom. Except Isla has never seen an actual hydrangea, other than in the pictures that she came across at Babylonia's education center, which struggles with what little resources it has to raise all the plants it has the pictures for. Isla, however, decides to give it a try anyway, hoping her attempt would give Millie a glimpse into the world she has never before seen. Uneven all over with a dull tip, the hematite crayon Isla is holding hardly makes a convenient tool to draw with, With a tool as unsuitable as this and a lack of proper instructions, Isla can't imagine anyone making any meaningful progress at all drawing on their own. Now, let's add a bit here, and that should do it, I think. Isla shows Millie her finished work. Wow, this is amazing, it looks so real. Are her hydrangea really this pretty? Well, this is based on what I remember of it, and I'm sure it's different from how you imagine it because it's not even blue. But just wait until you see a real hydrangea in your garden. I'm sure it'll be a lot prettier than the one I drew. And the drawing is not as difficult as it seems, as I'm sure you've realized after seeing me draw just now. To start with, this is what you need to do. Isla shows Millie her ways, which Millie quickly picks up. Where'd you learn all these? I've never thought about any of these things you said just now. So where did you learn all this stuff? Did you have a teacher who taught you this in Babylonia? I'm from the WGAA, and it's an organization in Babylonia. People from the WGAA are experts in art. That's where I picked up a lot of what I know about drawing. WGAA? What's art anyway? Well, art is... Isla decides not to bombard the kid with the technical definition of art she knows like the back of her hand. Let me see. Millie, what makes you want to show your work to your dad? Huh? Well, because my dad is always happy when I share my drawings with him, and I just want to show him what I see and do out here every day, because he's hardly ever home. I think that's a beautiful reason for you to keep drawing. To me, at least, art is something that's created with motivations like that. Drawing, dancing, writing a novel, or poetry are just some examples of art. And there were also movies and manga back in the Golden Age. Manga? Manga? Wait, I'll be right back. Moments later, Millie comes back with a booklet. This is what you call a manga, right? Because that's what my dad calls it too. Millie gives the paper back to Isla. It's an old one. Its pages have yellowed from time, but not so much that Isla has trouble reading what's in it. Is this from Beautiful Angel? The manga is a series that gained traction during the Golden Age, based on the anime and toys that came before the series itself. It's by the same author that drew Cardman Rider. The girls in the story are amazing. They transform into these beautiful ladies with magical powers and rough up the bad guys. I remember reading a few of these at Babylonia's education center when I was a kid and a boy. And boy, was I addicted. Those were good times. Really? I'm so jealous. This is the one I have. I've read it so many times already, but Dad said he can't find another one. Can I borrow one from you? I can, trade yours with this one. I'd love to help, but I think they only have a few copies in Babylonia. I don't think I can even take them out. Oh no, but I really want to find out what happens next. At the end of the series, two protagonists are chosen as beautiful angels by the fairy to fight the monsters. The two become friends because of that and start their journey from there. The story stops there, leaving many craving for a sequel. Well, works like this have never received much attention from the WGAA. These have obviously have more business value than they do art value, but I don't think it hurts to preserve them. Say, wouldn't you happen to be able to draw something like this, right? Millie thinks out loud, stopping Isla in her tracks. You're suggesting that I draw a manga? Yep, you like it too, right? I've never tried it, and it requires a totally different set of skills and knowledge. I'd be really happy if you could do that for me, and well, I'd be more than happy to help you with anything if you ever need me to. Millie suddenly lowers her head, seemingly have realized that she's asking for a difficult favor. Hey, here you are, Isla. Time to get moving. Transport craft is here, and we're set to go in 10 minutes. Oh, gotcha. Are you leaving? Yes, I'm going back to Babylonia. I see. Well, I guess I'll see you next time then. I mean, I don't know when that's going to be, but... My dad said he's going to take me to a new conservation area in a few months, and I think it's going to be really far from here. Hope you have a safe flight home. Thank you, Millie. Having bid farewell to Millie, Isla makes her way to the transport craft with Orpheus. Did you have fun hanging out with the kids? Not kids, just her. I happened to see her by herself. Most of us from the archaeological team choose to avoid having any contact from people from conservation areas, though. All because we're not a task force? People living on Earth think that all constructs from Babylonia are superheroes. But we all know that we can't be further from the truth, so we're nothing without task force help. Say, how would you define art? Whoa, caught me by surprise there. Well, let's see. It's not clear-cut, and it depends on which theory you buy into. To me, art is something that's both within and out of reach. There's this famous author who once wrote in his diary, and he decided that one must love and work, and that's it. But then the day after he wrote, he was tired, and didn't love and didn't work. He always felt lost in life and doubted the weight of his own words. But he kept going, and his work has become a time-honored part of human civilization. We'll probably never reach his heights, and what we do now might not amount to anything at all. But still, Isla has her own reasons to press forth. She can't say with a certainty that nothing will ever change her. For all she knows, she might have a change of mind tomorrow. And she also realizes that her persistence might not take her closer to the answer she came seeking, that she'll never be able to see the impact her work has down the road in this lifetime of hers, and that she'll never be able to find out whether she does serve a higher purpose. What happened today might happen again and again and again and again. She's going to find herself torn apart and put back together. Still, she rejects not that she's chosen this path with belief so naive. Much like how Millie's excited to show her father her drawings, and how she desires to find out what happens next in the manga series. I'll be right back. Isla, where are you going? Without answering Orpheus, Isla turns around and goes back the way they came. Huh? Hey, thank God you're still around. Did you forget something? Yes, I did, and it's very important. Taking a knee, Isla is now at eye level with Millie. My name is Isla, and I'm from Babylonia's WGAA. Can I borrow your manga? It'd be really helpful when I draw a sequel, says Isla, as she points at the manga from the Golden Age. Oh, it takes a few moments for Isla's words to sink in. Really, are you going to do that for me? Yep, let's pinky swear. I can't draw it right now, but I'll get to it when I'm back at Babylonia. The girls are going to beat the bad guys, become great friends, and save the world together. Oops, forgot to remind you of a spoiler alert there, but hey, who knows what's going to happen, right? So stay tuned. But I probably won't even be around when you're done. It's fine, I'll come find you. I'll go through all the conservation areas there are until I find you. Isla realizes that this is probably not a promise she'll be able to keep. Still, it's not a promise she regrets making. Hey, yo, infinite gallery, yo. Oh, this song. I love this song, dude. It's such a good song. Yeah, sorry, Flavia. Well, still, it's not a promise she regrets making. And when I do, I'll give you your manga back, along with a new one I will draw for you. I promise. Yo. Chapter 22. Renaissance du Fantastique. Yo. Oh, pretty good prologue, I won't lie. Bal du Moulin de la Galate. Okay. Loving the French titles. At Babylonia, in WGAA chairman's office. Alan sits before his table, his terminal projecting a virtual screen that shows an encrypted message. Alan stirs quietly at the garbled letters and numbers until a few knocks come out from the door. Come on in. Good morning, sir. What are you looking at? Hey, Leone. I've been trying to crack this email that arrived in my inbox for the past few days. I would just ask one of those guys from the Science Council to do it. Unless, of course, you happen to know a thing or two about cryptography yourself, sir. I'm not completely unfamiliar with it, and it's more fun when you do it yourself. It could be a message from the future or some extraterrestrial being, or maybe it will point us toward treasure some Golden Age art master left behind. Or it might just be a practical joke, but I guess that's just right up your alley, no? Well, how can I help you today? You guys are working hard or hardly working? People can't wait to see the exhibits and performances again. I've asked our new hires to take care of those, though. I'm actually here to speak with you about Isla today. I have Kyrios details here. With the Science Council's approval and mind compatibility taken care of, Kyrios is good to go, theoretically speaking. Electronic file Leone has sent Alan details the specification and all sorts of parameters on Kyrios. Doing better than what I was hoping to see. This is WGA's hope for the next few decades, and I hope it's going to shine like a newborn star. Okay, see ya. Have a good lurk. How's everything coming along with Iris Warbler, anyway, by the way? They're still trying to finalize their member list. CC added in a few new steps to the procedure because people are getting sent all over the place these days, but Isla is most likely going to be the captain of the team. It's no easy feat, but Claudio made it in time, huh? With all due respect, sir, but I fail to see why we're putting together a team with such a similar style when Isla is already doing so well in the archaeological team. Well, essentially, it's because she came to me with a request for a new frame after the battle at Hetero Space Station. She had done everything she could, only that she was lacking on the most fundamental level. And looking back now, I guess the idea of forming a new team had been sitting in the back of my mind as far back as when she took over Selena's place and came to the WGAA. The archaeological team is good for her, but I wanted to give both Isla and the WGAA a new stage on which to shine. Task Force is a complicated place, and it's got all sorts of different thoughts and credos. The military itself is worse, and I'm sure there are people out there now who just can't wait to say a thing or two about this new team. Still, it's only when she's not in a spot like when she's put in a spot like this that she gets to cross paths with people she otherwise wouldn't have, and form something that's greater than the sum of its parts. Now, I know what she's going to struggle, but I trust that she has it in her to shine through. I've seen promising qualities in Isla's dear friend. Not a day has gone by that I've not regretted failing to make those great qualities count as WGAA's chairman. Mankind is seeing a future for the first time and God only knows how long, which is why I want to make a bet, with Iris Warbler as my chips. It's not without risk, of course, and we might end up with nothing, but it'll be a step into the future. Having traversed a few buildings and hallways, Wells now finds himself standing by the door of a task force meeting room. When he lets himself in, he sees the person waiting for him. Seeing Wells, the young commandant inside rises immediately to salute him. Seeker from task force, reporting for duty at BST 9 o'clock. How are you doing, sir? Thank you for coming at this hour, Commandant. How is everything coming along with the team you've been leading? Freezing momentarily at Wells's question, Seeker gives her answer. They've been released from the team, sir. Jessica and Randolph have been sent to Red Scorpion to fill the vacancies of their lost members. As for George, he joined Pelican and is now out on a surface mission. And I myself am currently on standby at Babylonia, waiting for CC to notify me of my new assignment. Seeker sounds understandably upset, because to commandants, having their team dissolved and reassigned is not unlike having the command center directly criticize them for the lack of leadership. Making headway there, I see. They must have my best wishes. They have my best wishes wherever they go, of course. Sir, I understand that I'm just getting my feet wet and I'm still a far cry from some of the best commandants we have here. But still, I saw potential in Apodidai, and all I needed was just a bit more time to. It was an appropriate decision that came out of the staff's evaluation regarding team performances. Randolph, Jessica, and George are obviously excellent constructs with respectable experiences under their belts. But as a whole, Apodidai left much to be desired as an elite battle squad, which is why assigning them to teams in desperate need of new members was the most logical course of action to take. Every soldier needs to shine with their best potential, and make that possible for them is the primary principle on which we base our assignment decisions. Yes, sir. I understand that I have nothing but my own lack of leadership to blame for failing to bring out the best in my team in the battles we've been through. But I've learned a great deal from Vanessa ever since, and with that, I'm ready to redeem myself. Come next battle, I'm certain that I'll be able to... Sika. Wells cuts her short. You see, you knocked Kyrios as your goal, don't you? Well, I kept a close watch on your academic performances as a tactical instructor for your class. And despite all the objections the higher-ups at FOS had about your qualifications as the chief of your class, I, for one, didn't find anything out of place about it. Both Grey Irvins and Strike Hong's commandants graduated as the chiefs of their classes, and both of their own squads went on to become the legends people know them as today. Everyone has such high hopes for you and hopes to see you shine as the next legend because you're the first chief from FOS to have applied to task force after the two of them who graduated at the top of their class. Some from Parliament wanted to vouch for you, thinking that you, a rookie, would be able to do things in a way they deem appropriate, which is something they can't ask of the wild horse that was knocked Kyrios. At the same time, they also hoped your existence would serve to encourage the younger generation of Babylonia, because not only would it mean a bigger reserve for the military, but also more votes for themselves. Hence your immediate assignment to Apodidai right after your graduation. But with great expectations, of course, comes massive responsibility. Be it Chrome or knocked Kyrios, they didn't get to where they are today because they are chiefs. Except people tend to believe that there is a casual relationship because of all that Chrome and Knocked Kyrios have achieved. Let me be straight here. You will not become the second Chrome or the second Knocked Kyrios. From what I can see in your talent, potential, and performance, it seems highly unlikely for that to happen. This is not to say that you will not excel as the commandant. You have a strong mind beacon and managed to stay uninfected when the Hedor Tower came up, which is extraordinary. Except he split up from your team at the battle from the get-go, when he could have fought much more effectively when he stayed with them. So there's that, and given Apodidai's performance over the past half year, we just didn't think it made any sense for us to continue holding such a high bar over your team. I wouldn't say you're to blame, though, because the chemistry between commandants and their team members does play a big role in the team's performance, too. Nonetheless, the job of commandant is to bring out the best in their team. FOS might have taught us a lot of theories, but knowledge remains nothing more than knowledge if the commandant cannot effectively formulate a strategy in accordance with the ever-changing battlefield, and vice versa, of course. Is this you speaking based on staff principles, sir? I've been part of the staff for far too long to say my logic is free of their influence. But everything I said just now, I didn't say it as chief of staff, but as one of your teachers from FOS, if you will. Oh! Wells was a teacher? Damn, okay. You'll not figure out what you really want to go down and You'll not figure out what you really want going down a path walked by someone else. Yes, of course, sir. I'll keep everything you said in mind. Haha. I know it can be a little naggy sometimes, but old habits die hard, huh? Anyhow, that's that. Let's get down to why we're here today. We're here today to talk about your assignment to your next team. As far as reassignment goes, you normally expect a notice of reassignment to be sent your way from CC. Except the team you'll be assigned to is still under review, and the decisions regarding its members are only tentative. Now, having taken everything into account, I believe you'll make a good fit for the team's commandant. And I also believe you'll have a great deal to learn from the team's captain, given your proximity and age. I beg your pardon? Well, I guess I'll let the person in charge take the floor from here. Someone knocks on the door. Right after which a man with a friendly smile walks in. It sure has been quite a while, Wells. I don't believe I had the pleasure. My name is Alan, and I'm the WGAA's chairman and Irish Warblers organizer. It's a pleasure to meet you, Sika. Hey. Moments of darkness later, her visual module is back and running. Sitting up in the medical pod, the construct turns to look at the white-haired woman who's now wearing a somewhat disturbing smile. Ah, this bitch. Ah, yes, this biatch. We're done with your routine treatments, Oraculium. Guess this is the last time I'll be seeing you here. I was hoping you'd call me Trojan at least once, says the female construct with a wry smile. Hey, yo! Hey, new construct dropped. New NPC dropped. And I was hoping you'd spit out something smarter from that mouth of yours, Oraculium. But I guess your mind is probably too damaged. Come on, I just thought we'd be on a first-name basis by now. Ignoring what Vasily said, Trojan gets out of the medical pod. Ha. Your mind is 26.13% permanently damaged. Considering the limitations of your frame, there's no way we can bring this number down any further. It's a miracle you're still alive at all with such severe damage, and the frame's infection from punishing has affected its stability and damaged your memory from that period. Unless we get you a new frame, it's not without risk, of course, but I just wanted to see if you could run a little interesting experiment on you. Well, even though I can't recall what happened, they probably got backup copies at Babylonia anyway, although I'm sure they're all classified at this point. Oh, like I care. Noticing that Trojan is looking this way, Vasilius remarks coldly. The only reason I helped you fix your mind is because I was part of the team that developed Oraculium. You were part of the first batch of military constructs, but I've been able to get some very useful data off you nonetheless. Oh, she's one of the first military constructs? Damn, okay. That's a shame. Seeing Vasilius' rejection coming even before she made her request, Trojan shrugs with another wry smile. You're only hampering your progress as a construct if you don't let go of your past. Though that's something you've only known by now after spending all this time with Chrono. Well, I guess I'm not quite there yet. Trojan says self-mockingly as she stretches. Permanent damage of 26.13. Let's pretend for a second that my inner device and mind beacon granted me permanent immunity to infection. Are you sure I'm still any good to you people? When I have much lower synchronization rate and can't fight as effectively as I was able to before? Look, if you weren't, you would have found yourself torn apart and dumped away as the recycling station by now. Just saying, you know. With the super CPF we have now, I'm sure Task Force is going to make a much easier time doing what they do, and don't suppose the elite squad wants to take an old bag with such a negative track record. Unless, of course, Chrono's trying to sell me off to my old boss for cheap. You're not going to tell me you miss your days back in Norman Mining Corp now, are you? I'd be happy to keep you around as a guinea pig, though. But that's not my decision to make. See, they are trying to... Actually, forget it. I'm not getting myself involved in this. By the way, would you happen to be interested in art? Says Vasilius, with a smile that seems even more evil now. Wow. On Earth, around an area of ruins within the zone of influence of the Enver Hetero Tower, a slender silver-haired male construct hides behind a dilapidated wall, an arrow swooshing past and driving into the ground by his foot. A split second later, the bomb in the arrowhead explodes with an ear-splitting bang. Oh, Teasel, okay. The construct dodges sideways just in time to avoid the explosion, before turning backward to shoot an arrow at his pursuer. Judging by the sound of a muffled expression from afar, the construct knows that his attack has been dodged too, knowing it's only a matter of time before his pursuer catches up again. He heads into the depths of the ruins. Give me a break already. Guess Babylonia really enjoys hunting down defectors, huh? Did I give myself away back when I did that thing I didn't have to? Never thought I'd get to experience such a private treat. A construct from Babylonia has been trying to hunt Teasel down for the past few months. She's not from Purifying Force, but given her persistence, Teasel can almost be sure that she'll be back for him again, even if he shakes her off. Because I wouldn't be dealing with this and had us stuck together with the Ascendants. But freedom is too steep a price to pay in exchange for shelter. Or I'd rather you stick together than I could get rid of you all at once. Teasel dodges out of the way before a metallic arrow could hit him. The arrow rams into a wall, its fletching threatening to burst from the reaction force. The shot was deadly, so much so that the arrow hit Teasel. Had the arrow hit Teasel, it would have gone straight through his armor and killed him if he had not been infected by punching. I'd surrender now if I were you, Teasel. Hey, Elisa! Let's go, Elisa! Says a female construct with light purple hair as she walks out from behind a wall. With the string on her bow at full draw, she's ready to send the arrow flying straight at Teasel if he so much as dares to move a finger. That bow you're holding there. You're not going to blame the weapon for your own skill issue, are you? Skill issue! Hey, skill issue. Well, I was just wondering, you know, if I'd find a woman with the same kind of hairstyle and color as yours. Despicable. And do me a favor and stop calling me Teasel. That's not the name I go by anymore. Think it came all the way here to chit-chat? Oh, Teasel's not called Teasel anymore? Okay. Tell me where the other defectors are, and I just might spare your life for you to make an appearance at the court-martial. So you think they're going to give me an open and fair trial for what I've done if they catch me, huh? No, they aren't. Because they died to get their hands on a transcendent they can use as a puppet. Kamu from Strikehawken is an exception, but you, Teasel from Egret, won't be so lucky. They're just going to lock me up in some ground headquarters and cut me up piece by piece, day and night for their research. Isn't that what you want from me? That's a bunch of nonsense, you pathetic idiot. Pathetic. And what makes you think that you're one to talk when you don't even know you're being toyed around? Says Teasel with a smile as he flips a switch on his hand. What do you... Before the construct finishes her sentence, Teasel activates the electromagnetic trap he set up beforehand, sending a powerful shock through her body that paralyzes her. Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. You seem to be in an interesting position yourself, and it'd be a shame to kill someone who has the potential to pass the filtering. What are you talking about? There's no point in being here any longer, so I'm going to have to talk with our Miss Rookie first. Farewell, and let's hope we get to work together next time we see each other. You never know. Damn it! The construct watches Teasel leave, unable to stop him. Oh. Three hours later, the electromagnetic trap finally becomes ineffective. Work together? Cut the crap. With her body numb, she's on the ground gasping for air. Help! Help us! Help us! She rubs her head, waiting for her mind to fully recover from the paralysis. Got away again. She thought she could catch at least one defector within the period Commander Nicola had set. Now the intel from the Purifying Force is all wasted. She's not originally a member of the Purifying Force. It is only because of her obsession with the defectors that compelled her to take this mission off the hands of the busy Purifying Force. Her legs are still numb. She gives up on trying to stand and lay down on the ground instead. The aquamarine inver hetero tower reflects on the horizon. The huge tower is like a mirage, silently looming over all on the ground. No matter how many times she looks up at it, she still cannot believe this miracle had happened in reality. Grey Raven. Her personal terminal rings. At this timing, she raises her hand up in the air as if surrendering. Pushing herself upright, she starts to read the message. New squad transfer notice. Warning, if you continue to ignore this transfer arrangement, Command Center will deploy the purifying force to extract you back to Babylonia. Military disciplinary actions will be taken. Okay. Squad? What a farce. Whatever, the only thing she could do right now is to obey. She smiles bitterly with a tinge of helplessness as she continues to scroll through the message. You are to be transferred to Ibris Warbler? Yo, let's go. Babylonia, WGAA. That's enough for today. Noctis Kyrios. Following the girl's voice, her consciousness passes through the long corridor of darkness and back into reality. I'll analyze the whale song we collected today together with Leonie later. As usual, I'll send you the results afterward. Thank you, Isla. I'm the one who should be thanking you. That time with Hamlet was already a close call. On top of that, you've only just recovered. I want to help you, Isla. After using Kyrios and Hamlet to verify the possibility of a remote connection, we'd often visit the WGAA to help Isla search for whale song signals on Earth. It's not an easy process, although you are the best choice for forming a remote connection with Selena. You were only able to do so back then. Thanks to the help of Hamlet, it's not an easy feat to replicate. Even when you are able to establish a temporary and unstable remote connection. Most you can capture are enigmatic noises. There's not much that can actually be useful. Moreover, you are commandant of the task force. You cannot visit the WGAA every day. At the very least, you have to spend more time on the Star of Life than the WGAA. Has the progress been slow lately? Rather than slow, I'd say there's no progress at all. The area we can locate on relying on whale songs is limited. Even if we use the technology of the Space Science Council, we still cannot increase the accuracy of it. And the whale songs are usually delayed. There's around a month's gap between the emission of the song and its capture and analysis. By the time the results are available, it's often too late to conduct surface searches. At least, I've tried over a dozen times and never succeeded. If possible, I'd like to send a message back to Selena from Babylonia, but it has never worked for some reason. Looks like there's still a long way to go. I sometimes wonder, why is she even wandering on Earth? Why couldn't she just stop for a while and let me catch up? Has she already forgotten me? Forgotten everything we've been through? Isla. Truthfully speaking, if you cannot improve the accuracy of the positioning system, the chances of actually finding Selena are close to zero. My friends at WGAA never said it aloud, but I'm pretty sure they've tried to convince me to give up. To be honest, I'm not doing this under the impression that I'll definitely be able to find her. The data doesn't lie. I just can't ignore that and be 100% confident in what I'm doing. But even after so long, I still don't want to give up. No matter how she is now, no matter how different she is from the Selena in my memories, no matter why she is wandering on Earth, I just want her to know that there is a place she can always come home to here. There is a place she can always come home to here. All I have now is not even a wish, but merely an obsession. You won't be wrong to call me stubborn. Me too, Isla. Also, if you do find her, I'll have to let her know all the hardships she put us through. I won't shut up about it for 3 months. No, at least half a year. The pink-haired Carl smiles fondly. By the way, Isla seems to have recalled something. You're still sitting in the connection pod when she moves closer, bends down and places the back of her hand on your forehead. No fever or anything. Looks like you're right as rain. Your vitals are shown on the screen, but I just wanted to confirm myself. I'm used to it. That's the most worrying part. You nod helplessly at Isla's persistent attitude. Removing the electrolytes on your chest and taking off the remote connection device, you stand up from the connection pod. Your gaze wanders. The huge theatrical set of Hamlet is connected to the connection pod you were just in. It's mostly thanks to the data harvested from Hamlet last time that you were able to help Isla. Isla and Leone from the WGAA performed some technical upgrades to Hamlet, allowing it to capture whale song signals on the surface more easily and visualize the information. It is a shame that only you can see its messages. Due to the remote connection restrictions and human consciousness protection mechanism of Hamlet, you'd have forgotten most of the message by the time you return to reality. As if you had a dream, but you cannot recall anything from it, your memories slipping away through your fingers like sand. Every time you recover from the state of immersion, it would leave you feeling helpless for quite some time. Isla continues to find and organize useful parts of the whale song on the terminal. This has been her life for the past few years since Selena disappeared, and no one knows how long it will still go on for. Grasping onto the tiny threads of hope, she frantically searches for hints of her dear friend. She must have experienced countless failures, countless disappointments, and countless moments of helplessness. Even so, she is yet to despair. Being able to smile every day while sustaining this obsession, where does her motivation come from? Right. After spacing out and staring blankly at Isla for a while, you gather your wandering thoughts and ask about something else you noticed. Isla, what's with this frame? The frame Isla is using today is not her usual Brilliance frame. Compared to Brilliance, this frame is much more refined. It also looks much more like the combat frames used by the task force. But there are still bits of extravagance to its design. It's clear that Isla had a hand in designing this frame. Oh, you mean Kaleido? It just passed through the consciousness adaptation test. I'm just testing it out and collaborating as I go. It feels quite different from your previous frame. Heh, of course. This was made in reference to task force contract data. Kaleido is much more focused on the combat aspect. Although it's nothing compared to the specialized frames Lucia and the others have, it's the work of the most talented designer of the WGAA, so that counts for something. Leone even bragged about it in front of Asimov when I went to do the consciousness adaptation test at the Science Council. It's just that I might have been able to help you with the Hello Tower if this frame had been finished earlier. It's the thought that counts. But why a combat-focused frame? So that I can battle, of course. Isla throws a few punches in the air to demonstrate. Well, I guess I just want to be prepared, just in case. Brilliance is a good frame, but I feel like some departments if I'm to officially carry out missions on Earth. Officially carry out missions on Earth? Of course, it means the Task Force Earth missions. More precisely, it's a new squad founded with the help of the WGAA. On paper, it belongs to the task force. A new squad? Oh, you don't know, Commandant? Then let me tell you more. In the past, the archaeological missions of the WGAA were carried out by teams of members from both the task force and the archaeological team. As the contracts on the archaeological team are not made for combat, they require the protection of the task force. It has always been like this, until Selena disappeared. The chairman has been trying to remedy the situation since then. He's been thinking if we can form a specialist squad with a commandant like the task force does for more dangerous missions, we can lower the chance of these incidents from happening. And recently, probably due to the successful reversal of the Hetero Tower, his idea is becoming a reality. After all, the WGAA is responsible for retrieving scientific technology from the Golden Age. With the increase of the search area, these kinds of missions are rising in importance. And the chairman even agreed to a bunch of extra conditions, such as paying for all the expenses of running the team, and deepening our cooperation with the Science Council. Anyway, if they finalize the squad, and I'll be, of course, be part of it as the representative of the WGAA, need to show some support, am I right? So your new frame was specifically for that? To be precise, I've been wanting a new frame ever since that space station mission. That incident made me understand that intentions alone are not enough to achieve something. When in a pinch, even artists have to pick up a sword rather than a brush. They've all done it. Monet, Verstanden, and even Valenmanek. Isla pats her own chest with confidence. It looks like she has already prepared for the future. You have to admit that there are times when you envy Isla's optimistic personality. Do I know the other members? Maybe you'll have heard of them? Heard of the Commandant? You know what? I can introduce them to you later if you want to meet them, Commandant. All of a sudden, your personal terminal on your wrist rings, interrupting Isla. Commandant, it's almost time. The survey mission to Area B around the Hetero Tower starts tomorrow. I haven't seen you around all morning. Where have you been? Liv and I came to escort you to the war room if you need. No thank you. I'll be right there. Ending your conversation with Lucia, you stand and nod apologetically toward Isla. I guess they don't call you the Ace of Babylonia for nothing, Commandant. You're always so busy. It used to be worse. Well then, we'll have to leave the introductions till next time. I'll definitely bring them over to the Grey Raven's lounge. But I would have expected you to let your team members know your plans. Why didn't you? Into realization taints Isla's smile, making it look more meaningful. I just don't want them to worry. You did not hide your schedule on purpose, but ever since you last got discharged from the hospital, the members of Grey Raven, especially if have been very strictly monitoring your health situation. Even pulling an all-nighter would be met with a cold shoulder. If you tell Liv that you've been going to the WGAA and attempting special remote connections, you shudder at the thought. I'll see you later then, Isla. I guess the next time we'll meet is after the mission. Oh, wait a second, Commandant. Yes? You're about to leave when Isla runs over to you. She extends her arms and pulls you into a hug. What's wrong? Confusion hits you together with this ambush of hers, but Isla does not pay attention to your slightly embarrassed expression. She closes her eyes and continues to hug you close. She only lets go after 10 seconds or so. Alright, that should do it. What? I just want to express my gratitude to you, Commandant. And I guess to encourage myself. No need to mind it, Commandant. You're going to be late if you don't get going soon. The ticking clock on your personal terminal urges you to hurry. You leave the WGAA before you can thoroughly think about the meaning of the hug. Alright. You pass by a young woman in the corridor. She looks familiar, but since you're running out of time, you have no choice but to rush past her. Okay. Oh, Sika. It was Sika. Was that? Last time we met, we were... It's quite nervous back then. It must have left a bad impression. Why the long face? Startled by a low voice next to her ear, Sika turns to find a female construct with short purple and blue hair speaking to her. You are? Trojan, my number BP074, if not mistaken. You're my new commandant, right? Trojan, hello, I'm Sika. I'll be temporarily taking on the role of the Iris Warbler Commandant. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Is that so? Polite and young. A bit too young, in my opinion. I was headed to the WGAA to find the captain. That's why you're here as well, isn't it? Oh yes, that's right. Are you not going to say hi to that commandant? It seems like you wanted to. No, now's not the time. We should meet up with Isla. Let's go, Trojan. The WGAA is up ahead. Hey, yo, let's go. Oh, dude, that was long. Bro. Things are starting to come together, man. You love to see it. You love to see that things are starting to come together, dude. Honestly, a pretty good start to the chapter. Not the best start, but pretty good. I like it. I like the start. Although I will admit, it is a bit long. The art of painting. A few days later at the WGAA, two new faces occupy Isla's studio. Commandant Sika and Trojan, who are part of the newly formed Isla's Warbler, have been undergoing emergency art training with the help of Captain Isla. Never thought I'd be holding a paintbrush of all things. This is like some activity at a retirement home, learning new skills with young volunteers. I don't know what to feel. Sika and Trojan sit in front of carefully positioned fruit and flowers, with a sketchbook on their laps. Oh, come on now, Trojan. There are a few artists who only started painting in their autumn of life back in the Golden Age, although that doesn't undermine their achievements. Isla quietly sneaks up from behind them and looks at their mostly finished pieces. Trojan's sketchbook is filled with messy lines. It also does not seem like her drawing skills have improved in the past few days, but Isla still insists that she has potential. It's a good pastime, I guess, but even when things like authenticating antiques were popular entertainment back in the Golden Age. Other than painting, Isla is taking them to the archive of the WGAA, where artworks and artifacts from the Golden Age and before are stored. I think I now understand why the old folks back then loved to bid on these in the antiquity market. Oh, I've read about that. I heard that Chairman Allen used to be really good at that when he was young. So good, in fact, that he was banned from a few of those shops. I'm glad you two are enjoying these activities. Our squad is a bit unique compared to other squads, so these are essential skills. The establishment of Iris Warbler seems to be linked to the surface reconstruction plans. I've asked the senior constructs on the archaeological team, and they say determining the protection value of things is part of their missions. I also think that this is necessary training for us, which is why I requested it. Trojan sneaks a peek at Sika's sketch. Even though the two of them have started learning from Sika at the same time, it is obvious that Sika has improved far more than her. You're very sensitive to lines, Sika. Have you done this before? The FOS taught us the basics in drawing, since we need to draw things like missile trajectories and the defense deployment programs. Alright, since we're here, may I ask you to demonstrate for us, Isla? I really want to see how someone from the WGAA like you usually creates. I heard that you're quite a famous artist, so I'm also curious as to how a painting can be sold for more than 1 million black cards in Babylonia. Well, I had to keep myself alive somehow, to tell the truth. I also didn't wish for my paintings to be sold at such high prices. I don't really understand what goes on in those collectors' minds. But I need new brushes, and the WGAA needs funds for its operations, so I guess I was doing my part as a member. That's very realistic. Well, I guess we could end today's lesson like this. Isla nods and takes out her easel. After positioning the drawing board, she clips on a piece of drawing paper. She completely shifts into work mode as she puts on her beret. Taking out all the necessary drawing tools from her toolbox, Isla starts creating her masterpiece based on the items Sika has been sketching. Yo! Hey, Live 2D! Let's go! Man, I've just been loving all the Live 2D art they've been incorporating in these recent chapters, man. It really just helps with the presentation, dude. I love it. She drafts simply in pencil and blends in her colors. With her palette in one hand and paintbrush in the other, she blesses the monochromatic lines with colors of the rainbow. A bit of this here and some there. That looks about right. The paintbrush dances across the paper, leaving trails of the spectrum on it. In the blink of an eye, a lifelike painting is born out of the overlapping of colors in this little square of white. Seeing how Sika and Trojan were captivated by her creation process, Isla starts to explain. The shape, colors, and lighting, those are the basic components of a drawing. And it's exactly these three things which have caused famous painters to dedicate their whole lives to art. Although that's the principle of things, it doesn't mean you'll create a masterpiece by just drawing the most accurate shapes, blending the most precise tones, and analyzing the most scientific lighting. Critics love to theoretically analyze the different layouts and the uses of colors by painters. But when a painter sits in front of the canvas and picks up their brush, techniques are definitely not what makes the painting. It may be cliche, but the most important thing that makes a good painting is probably the creator's thoughts. What they want to show, convey, and achieve. Painters are motivated to pick up the brush again and again by these desires. It isn't just for the painting, music, drama, literature, and dancing. I think it applies to other areas of art as well. Alright, don't think all I said is something deep though. What do you mean? Even in Babylonia, learning art is considered as a luxury by many. Quite a few people have voiced their displeasure by saying that the WGAA is wasting the government's money doing useless research. After all, art and music can't defeat the corrupted and the ascendants. But art does not exist to be a castle in the air. It should be worshipped by people, rather it should be a part of life, something within reach. Even when war rages on, art should not be a luxury limited to only a lucky few. I want everyone to know that creating art is not some mysterious magic. What you two are doing just now is also a kind of creation. I think that is one of the WGAA's purposes of existence. A lot of members are working hard towards this goal. With that, Isla paints her last stroke on the spontaneous piece. Wow, looks good. Purpose and goal, huh? No need to overcomplicate things. At the end of the day, I just like to paint. And if others are interested in what I like to do, then I'm happy. Looks like we're getting along well. A middle-aged man with long gray hair appears at the doorway. God knows how long he's already been standing there. He smiles at the three and enters the studio. I'm sorry for not noticing you sooner, Chairman Allen. This isn't the Army, Sika. No need to be formal. Chairman of the WGAA. My name is Trojan. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'd like to thank you for including me on the potential members list for the new squad. I wasn't the only one responsible for picking out the members. It was decided in regards to opinions from various places. It is my honor to have a veteran construct such as yourself join the team. Is that what Vasilius told you? But compared to other places, I guess this is more suitable for me at this moment. Oh, I hope everyone feels like that. Was there an emergency, Chairman? It's a bit complicated, and I'll explain in detail afterward. But simply put, you three are about to go on your first mission as a team. Ayo, let's go. How is it? Can you get a more detailed analysis report? No, due to an unknown electromagnetic signal disruption, we will not be able to obtain more precise information if we don't display the task force to survey the area. Signal disruption. Can you find out the source? Also, have there been any attempts at communication? We've tried sending commonly encrypted radio waves, but we've yet to receive a response. According to high-definition photos taken by our drone, this area does not display human activity. On the contrary, though, little in amount, we have detected mechanoid activity in the city. Corrupted mechanoids? Impossible. The area is still under the influence of the Hero Tower. Even if there was punishing virus there before, the concentration of the virus should have dropped to a safe level by now. Wells, what's wrong? Coming in belated, Hassan asks Wells. What's the current situation with the abnormal signals the satellites detected before? One can only assume right now without a survey report from the task force on the front line. We're still trying to decrypt the signal, but one thing we can be sure of is that this encryption method is not used by unknown forces on the surface, nor is it something from the Golden Age. Could it be the Ascendants? They can control the virus, so it's not unusual for them to operate in low viral intensity zones. That is a possibility, but they did not appear in the Hetero Tower battle before. What would they be trying to achieve by sending us a signal from somewhere like that at this time? No matter who it is, the fact that we cannot decrypt this means we shouldn't let our guard down. And from what we can see in the videos taken by the drones, we need to immediately deploy the task force to investigate this area. Where's Commander Nikola? We think that this kind of mission should be carried out by elite squads like Cerberus or Caribou. Grey Raven and Strikehawk can also be considered if we don't need to confidentiality. Nikola is currently organizing the general survey work surrounding the Hetero Tower, so doesn't have time to take care of this. And all the squads you've just mentioned are already carrying out missions in their respective areas. Considering the casualty rate of the task force in the Hetero Tower battle, a lot of squads are still recovering. To tell the truth, there are not many who are available right now. What about Simon's Dark Ares? It's already past the observation period of known, and Simon has already recovered from the confusion brought on by the Hetero Tower. Palma and Lillian seem to be doing fine as well. Known is a bit of a special case. If we cannot say for sure that this isn't related to the Ascendants, then it's best not to send Dark Ares on a mission on the surface. You have a point. In that case, though this isn't technically their job, maybe the Purifying Force could... No need to stress, Wells. Don't we have a newly formed squad that ticks all the boxes? Are you referring to the one with a member from the WGAA? Iris Warbler is still under probation and its members are just provisional. How is that ticking all the boxes? Is that so? It's a perfect squad in my opinion. Even though Captain Isla is from the WGAA, she has sufficient experience on the surface and has aided the task force on numerous occasions. Trojan is a veteran construct who has been serving Babylonia since the start. While the last one may be experienced, Nikola seems to think highly of her. As for Commandant, an FOS chief handpicked by you, even experienced squads pale in comparison to this team setup. You can't be serious, President Hassan. But most importantly, this was requested by the chairman of the WGAA. Alan, he requested for Iris Warbler to take on this mission. That's right, Wells. General. Alan enters the room under Wells' bewildered gaze. Following behind him are the three members of Iris Warbler, with Isla as their lead. I think Iris Warbler is the most suitable for this mission. Since they are still under probation, why not test them with a field mission? Furthermore, the location of this mission, you can't deny its relevance to the WGAA. Oh? A city from the Golden Age? A reconstruction of the city using the picture data from the drones is projected onto the middle of the room as Hassan and Wells briefly explain the situation. Alan stares at the bluish viral projection with disbelief. To be precise, it's an unfinished city. Only its general design and planning was completed back in the Golden Age. It was far from finished for human occupancy. The outbreak of the Punisher virus happened not long after the actual construction of the city started, resulting in its abandonment. After that, this area has always been one of the dead zones with a high concentration of punishing virus. Until all of that had been reversed by the Hetero Tower. Not long ago, we captured a string of normal signals originating from the city, and our drones were able to capture what you just saw while we were trying to decrypt them. The definition of the image heightens with Hassan's explanation. Just judging from its appearance, the city is a magnificent piece of work that is a different style than the rest of the world. Newly refurbished buildings and roads dot the lines, accompanied by a complex yet perfected railway system. It's a huge upgrade to the conservation areas that humanity currently use. Most importantly, the city does not show any signs of damage from the punishing virus, as if the whole of post-pandemic age and Reconquista age were just fever dreams. Its time had forever stopped during the glorious Golden Age. It looks like a brand new city built recently, but no human forces currently have the resources to do that. You're right, without the protection of the central purification filter, it should have become ruins ages ago, but in reality, that is what has become of the surrounding parts of the city. But most of the central part of the city still maintains its perfect structure, as if someone is deliberately protecting it. Yet there's no human activity, but there are mechanoids wandering about? A relic from the Golden Age, a complete, yet empty city. Those 2 points alone are enough to raise suspicion. President Hassan, General Wells, did Egret encounter a mechanoid with unique behavioral patterns on a mission before? Sika's question is like a key to Pandora's box. Hassan and Wells exchange a glance, their expressions immediately bleak. The remains of that mechanoid have already been retrieved by Babylonia. Its memory shell is currently being studied by the Science Council. According to Asimov, a lot of unusual codes have been found in its neural circuit. It's currently unknown if that is the cause for its odd behavior. But the situation of that orphanage does provide a lot to consider. Are you implying that the city has been maintained by a normal mechanoid, like the orphanage Egret investigated? Commander Vanessa told me in-depth details of that mission. Although there's a large difference in the scale of things, with the information we currently have, I think we shouldn't rule out this possibility. Oh, that maid mechanoid. Right. Nevertheless, we need a squad down there for recon. From what Chairman Allen has been saying, Iris Warbler is the best choice for this mission as you have links to the WGAA. That's right, retrieving relics from the Golden Age, which were abandoned during the Great Evacuation, has always been the WGAA's responsibility. This city itself signifies the end of the Golden Age. It's the last crystallization of the human civilization before coming to the post-pandemic age. I think a lot of our members at the WGAA would have witnessed firsthand the glorious Golden Age and would be interested in it. That was part of our consideration when we first decided to form Iris Warbler. Since that's the case, why don't we examine the necessity of the existence of a squad like Iris Warbler through this mission, Wells? Considering the current situation of the task force, I do not object. And as Chairman Allen has said, the city's relevance to WGAA is undeniable. So it makes sense for the investigation to be carried out by the WGAA members. Isla, what do you think as a member of the WGAA and the captain of Iris Warbler? Isla stares at the three-dimensional projection in the center of the room and then at the coordinates displayed next to it. Her lips are pursed and a complicated glow takes over her pink eyes. Isla, did you notice something? Although they have not known each other for long, this is the first time Sika sees Isla, who is always smiling and bubbling with positivity, display such serious emotions. The city's coordinates. It's the same as where Selena's whale song signals we found a few days ago originated. A coincidence or... She closes her eyes and with a hand on her chest, she calms herself down and reverts back to her normal self. I don't think there's a problem, General Wells. And her commander looks like she's eager to go on a mission. Isla winks at Sika. Although Sika is still confused by the fleeting expression that graced Isla's face, she replies with a determined gaze. Iris Warbler will take care of this mission. Hey, let's go. Hey, good to see Isla again, man. Oh, I'm really curious how this pans out. Isla, I wonder what happened. After the meeting, Sika walks with Trojan down the hallways. Isla had left them with a see you later and rushed back to the WGAA. Maybe she knows something and had to confirm it back at the WGAA. Maybe we should gather more intel before the mission starts. You're the commandant. You got to decide what to do. Oh, isn't that Mrs. Top Student? Ah. Hearing the familiar voice, Sika's face turns white as a ghost, as if she had swallowed a whole frog. Trembling a bit, she looks up to greet the person walking over. Good morning, Commandant Vanessa. Isn't it about your time you stopped with the Miss Top Student thing? Hey, Vanessa! What, are you not satisfied with my praise? Miss Top Student? Vanessa chuckles as she emphasizes pronouncing the nickname. Or is it that you're just keeping your distance from me now that your training period is over? It's to be expected from our new chief. You must look down on a normal commandant like me who can only flaunt around her experience. That's not the case at all. I expect you a lot, Commander Vanessa. Vanessa, the Egret Commandant? That's right, she is also my senior at FOS, although she was already graduating by the time I got into the academy. When I first came to the task force after graduating, I trained under her for a while. She has always taken good care of me and taught me a lot. She's a really good senior. Is that so? Vanessa frowns in disdain at Trojan's dubious gaze. No, I was just bullying her. I don't agree with that. Those were the times, pushing all the troublesome paperwork onto her. Taking it out on her when I'm in a bad mood. It's hard to find such a perfect doormat nowadays. Right, do you remember when you first came over and were scolded by me for messing up the layout of the mission report? You were hiding in the lounge and secretly crying at night. Wait, there's no need to bring that up. Such a complicated relationship. Although enough with the nostalgia, Miss Top Student. I heard that your original squad was disbanded and you were sent to the WGAA. Well, it's more like the WGAA is only providing assistance and the squad still belongs to the task force. Whatever, it suits you well for nobody like you. Digging up pottery somewhere where there's no enemies. I doubt you'd be any of use on the actual battlefield anyway, if it was your commanding officer. If I was your commanding officer, you wouldn't really even qualify as a cannon fodder. Wow, Vanessa. Wow, Vanessa. Man, I thought we moved past this, Vanessa. Really, Vanessa? I kind of thought we moved past this. Are all self-proclaimed elites impertinent like you? I'm just speaking the truth. Unless trash should stay where they belong. I'm not thinking about that, but the general staff who disbanded your little squad. Listen up, I'm not just targeting you alone. I heard the efficiency of new commandants this year has decreased by 30%. But I guess if someone like you were the chief, then FOS really isn't what it used to be. The Babylonian generation, ha! I wouldn't be surprised if humanity ends in the hands of your generation. If I was an instructor at the FOS, I would never let you or unrealistic idealists graduate in the first place. Enough of this. I have more important things to do. Damn it, Vanessa. I thought you were better than this. Come on, Vanessa. Come on. Thought you were better than this. Vanessa waves the files in her hand. It contains information about a lot of constructs. It seems like she is currently recruiting a new member for Egret. Goodbye, Miss Top Student. I've heard of her before, but actually meeting her in person, that was an experience. Trojan shrugs with a sigh after Vanessa leaves. It's alright, I'm used to it. Vanessa's like that to everyone. And she's right most of the time, so no one can refute it. At the end of the day, only actions can make someone change their mind. Well, it's good that you're all fired up now. Alright, let's get a move on. She hears for herself quietly and leaves the conference room together with Trojan. Hey, let's go. Man, things are really starting. Alright, pretty slow start so far, I won't lie. They're really starting to build it. Man, they're really starting to build things up. And I like it. Ah, dude, I love this. I like it. Experiment on a bird in the air pump. Oh, nice art. Okay. As if standing in front of an infinite backlit mirrors. Each mirror reflects a helpless and confused self. One knows that nothing can be grasped, but one still tries in vain. Oh, is this Seeker's backstory? Like a moth chasing after a flame, never reaching the destination it intends to. The Royal Government United Army, the 3rd Artillery Regiment, the Construct Company including Captain LeBron, a total of 127 fierce warriors. Your sacrifice will be remembered, and we will carry on the road you've paid for us, until the day we claim back our homeland. May you rest in peace, humanity's children. Deafening salutes and gunshots fill the air. A stirring in her chest tightens with each gunshot. She got first again. Is she someone like Langston and knocked Kyrios? Those two are both geniuses, heroes who command and elite squads in battle. How can a nerd who only knows about exams be compared to them? Do you know why she's the chief? Because she's from the LeBron family. That famous military family from the Golden Age. The higher-ups want her in the HQ, that's why. Really, and the FOS allows this? But I heard she's not going to work in the HQ, but as commandant. That's what my friend said. His dad works in intelligence, so I bet it's true. But even as a commandant, do you seriously think she's going to fight on the front line? The string tightens. With your results, the economy thinks working the general staff directly under HQ is your best choice. Also, even though it's unconventional, the control court and the higher-ups of judicial court have expressed an interest in you. But you seem determined to go through with your decision. If you insist, then the Academy will respect your decision. Titans. Lastly, the FOS Military College grants Sika LeBron the title of Chief. Young people, we hope that you will carry on the will of our heroes and become the cornerstones of our future. Titans. The front line has collapsed. Abandon the scouts in the vanguard. Tighten the battle line. We can only prevail if we strengthen our defenses against this wave of attack. Those people are good as dead. Are you telling me more people are going to die? What's the point in remembering all these battle tactics? You really think the battlefield is just like your textbooks say? Titans. So you're the new chief. I guess I'll call you Miss Top Student to not confuse you with others. Objectively speaking, it's not entirely your fault that the casualty numbers were higher than expected. Our first priority is to protect this land, and since there were more corrupted than expected, it makes sense to send out some unlucky souls to fill the gaps. But what was it, that pathetic attitude of yours? Was it necessary to look at that miserable just because a few more constructs died? You can't even get your priorities straight. I don't understand how the HQ thinks you're fit to be commandant in the first place. I don't need someone who can't command their subordinates properly on the front lines. Summarize today's battle report and then take your pathetic little squad to the benches. Go be friends with medics or something. I don't care. Always tightening. And then, I thought all FOS chiefs were outstanding, but looks like there were exceptions. The general staff is disbanding the squad. It's the end of the line. The tightening string snaps. Only wandering on this endless path. Only revolving around in an unknown light. Since when? Mechanically and numbly marching forward. Considering it her responsibility. When she finally comes to her senses, she can hardly even remember the reason that led to her confusion in the first place. I think having a dream is a wonderful thing. No matter how hard to achieve or how childish the dream is. No matter the inevitable failure one will face on this path, and the non-existent results that await one. Even then, I think these idiots who work hard toward these unrealistic goals shine the brightest of all. Yo. Sika. Still half asleep, are you? Someone could sleep through all this noise when we're entering the atmosphere. Fragments of conversation enter the ears of the slumbering soul, stimulating her consciousness. Right after, the shape shakes roughly together with a huge centrifugal force, waking her up immediately. What? Oh, you're awake, Sika. Huh? What? Wait, I fell asleep? When? Have we already reached our destination? Embarrassed by her little slip-up so early in the mission, Sika frantically looks around. If it weren't for the seatbelt restraining her to her seat, she would have fallen right off. Relax, there's still 1 hour till landing. We just encountered some cumulus clouds, so we have to climb up a bit. We still haven't gotten to the troposphere yet. Did you pull an all-nighter last night? You could take this channel a chance to catch up on some sleep. No, I did it to organize the mission information. If I rest now, then it would be pointless. I know it's a bit late, but let's go over the mission details. Sika shakes her head to keep herself awake. She unbuckles her seatbelt and makes her way toward the tactical terminal, pulling up all sorts of information she has gathered in the past few days. Unknown City 01. It's named Constella in the Golden Age. Based on the word constellation, the chief designer was Michel Vasari. He was an important member of the WGAA back in the Golden Age, and also a renowned architect. Constella's construction was ceased due to the outbreak of the punishing virus. Michel himself has passed away due to illness a year before the outbreak. Constella has now been rediscovered by Babylonia, and it is estimated that 20% of the original design has been constructed. Even then, it's quite a sight. If our speculation is correct and that the city is being maintained by a normal mechanoid, then we'll have to be prepared for this fight. Although it's not the corrupted, we cannot underestimate the threat level of this mission. Then, I can put this to good use. Isla nods with some thought and then proceeds to pull out a storage box from a hidden space underneath the tactical terminal. Entering the password, the box opens with a click as sublimated dry ice dissipates. That's high-frequency electric knives against the corrupted, wide-area electrical magnetic stun grenade, tactical pistol for commandants, multi-purpose grenade launcher with special ammo, and all kinds of tactical equipment. How did you get your hands on these? Aren't these the latest trial weapons from the Science Council? I didn't think our squad's weapon quota could get us these. Let's just say I know someone in the WGA who has links to the weapon development department. The people of the Science Council said that as long as we're willing to pay a slight trial fee, then they'll lend us these. After all, they do want data on these weapons in actual combat. The power of money. Why go through all the trouble? Well, this is our first mission as a team, so of course we should be more prepared. And I know you care about this mission very much, Sika. How can I not do my part as captain when our commandant is working so hard? There are a lot of weapons for our commandants here. Take your pick, Sika. Isla gestures toward the weapons, just like the witch who led Hansel and Gretel into the candy house, telling them the candy was all theirs to eat. No, having lots of weapons doesn't mean it's better. We just have to consider the portability. Sika quickly shakes her hands, but her gaze is captured by something else on the box. Oh? I can hear you gulping from here. The new CI charge pistol, the 7th generation as well. We're still using these 6th generation back at FOS. Oh, there are more add-ons to choose from now? And the safety's been moved here? Trojan helplessly glanced at Sika, whose attention is completely occupied by the new weapons in front of her. Trojan then shoots a suspicious gaze over at Isla, who just casually pulled out all of these weapons. I thought the WGA consisted of peace-loving, harmless artists, and from how your frame is constructed, it seems that someone there is very familiar with construct technology. People join the WGAA because they like art, but apart from that, everyone has their own story. The WGAA would also welcome you too if you ever discover your passion for art. Trojan chuckles at Isla's invitation and starts to pick out a suitable weapon from the present box. This frame's exclusive weapon should be made by Vesalius. I can't imagine just sharing her designs. Looks like even Corono's R&D chief succumbed to her captain's charming personality. And this is a specialized arrowhead for the combat mechanical bows. Is this prepared for a 4th member whom we've yet to meet? Oh, you mean Lena? Squads in the task force usually consist of 4 members, and Iris Warbler is no exception. Other than our Isla and Trojan, Lena is the last temporary member of the team. I remember Chairman Allen mentioning that she used to be in Caribou. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was about a year ago. Due to Caribou's unique status, their member details are highly confidential, so this is all we know. Oh, wow. Oh, damn. Okay. After withdrawing from Kyrios, she's been carrying out missions alone on the surface, rarely returning to Babylonia, and because HQ never updated her personal profile, even I don't know what she looks like. As she is already on the surface due to other reasons, she has requested to meet us at the destination of this mission, Constella instead. A former Caribou member, HQ really wasn't kidding around when forming this squad. Don't think I don't know your credentials don't pale in comparison to theirs, Trojan. You've been serving Babylonia since the Arcadia evacuation, if I recall correctly. If we're only talking about service time, then it's similar to current captain of the Purifying Force. But she was still fighting on the front lines not too long ago. She's way stronger than me. Due to the sequel of mind damage from previous missions, I'm no longer suitable to fight on the front lines. What kind of mission can lead to such serious injuries? Your resume also didn't state which squad you served. I don't know, I can't even remember that. As for squads, just as Caribou. If you can't find anything, then it's best you don't know. Just like how there's always one or two members with a mysterious past on teams who save everyone at crucial moments with mysterious powers no one knows about? Where'd you learn that weird knowledge? If a time like that ever comes, run. Don't count on me to be able to save us all. Are you not one of those hothead characters who would lunge at the final boss when it appears too early in the prologue while yelling, "Looks like I have to do everything here" at the aspiring heroes and helping them get away? No. Or are you one of those who look like experienced seniors on the side of justice, but are actually a double agent who works for the final boss, and is planned to fake their death in an important battle, where they would later assume a false identity and go against the protagonist? Bro, Isla really breaking the fourth wall here, right? Wow, Isla. I have to say, you're quite imaginative. And neither of those scenarios sound like a good ending for me. This sounds more dramatic for a story as a novel or a movie. Dramatic plot and complex character relationships have always been what captivates readers and the audience. If you say so. Anyway, we should focus on the mission first. Not being able to follow Isla's train of thought, Trojan decides to direct the conversation back to the mission. We're almost above our destination. At Trojan's reminder, the three of them walk over to the window and look out. Bursting out of the clouds, the transport craft steadily descends into the troposphere. The three start to catch glimpses of Constella through the window. The last man-made city of the Golden Age. Hints of nervousness can be heard from Sika's voice. This is her first mission after her original squad was disbanded. She does not want this mission to be a failure either. Don't worry. Captivated by the soft whisper by her ear, she turns to look at Isla, who is quietly staring out at the window. Those words of comfort were so soft that were never spoken, as if they were never spoken at all. Placing her hand on the window, Isla stares at the mirage of a city, like a seasoned adventurer who finally found the new world. A question pops up in Sika's mind. What is the cause of this expression on her face? But this is swept away by the engines roaring as they land. Alright, I wonder what awaits us. Okay. Alright, time to get into nitty-gritty with that. Nitty-gritty, eh? Okay. The Boulevard Montmartre at night. Okay. Even when they step foot on the ground, the sight in front of them still seems unreal. What surrounds the city is a bunch of ruins, just as the intel Babylonia had stated. Originally, Constella was supposed to stretch on for tens of thousands of square kilometers, a scale as large as Kowloon. The number of cities from the post-pandemic age are like children's sandcastles in comparison. But the unattained glory of the past is merely an unachievable fantasy to current humans. Constella, a shooting star that graced humanity at the end of the Golden Age, has long disappeared from the pages of history with the outbreak of the punching virus. But now, though it may be small, a miracle has happened without people noticing. As if time reversal magic has been cast on the city, the further into the ruins they go, the more orderly their surroundings become. Until the point they reach an invisible line that separates the areas. As they cross the line, all the weeds and trash on the ground are replaced by neatly planned rows. Crumbled buildings with battered walls are now brand new skyscrapers. It is as if the city is alive and hidden in the wilderness. Yet the most surprising part is not how out of place the city is, but the strange tower staying at the center of all this contradiction. A windmill? The huge blades of the tower spin slowly like a vortex, attracting the eyes of visitors. Although we've seen the vague outlines of it in images, this is more than I had imagined. If one is to judge purely based on visual impact, then the hetero tower made of punishing virus would have won. At the windmill in the distance exudes solemnity and beauty. I know that the Golden Age cities tend to favor exaggerated landmarks, but a windmill is a first for me. When we talk about windmills, are you thinking of Don Quixote, right? Fantasizing to be a famous knight, Don Quixote mistook a windmill to be a giant and charged at it with his spear, only to crash into a wall again and again. It doesn't seem positive from the synopsis. What was their intention to make the most eye-catching building in the city like that? That I don't know. You're not even going to try to explain it? There are thousands of hamlets if there are thousands of readers. My interpretation may not be what the designer had intended. We just got here. If there's a limit to the information we can gather by just looking at the tower. This kind of tall buildings are usually used as electromagnetic wave towers. According to Babylonia, the only reason why we're not able to check the city earlier is because the tower is sending out deceiving signals. The windmill may be some sort of huge electromagnetic interference device. It may also function as a central purification filter, looking at the low punishing virus concentration here. If the windmill is the center of the city, then we should be able to find answers there. You're technically right, but it's not so simple. Turning toward the direction of the voice, they see a construct with short lilac hair walking over. Are you members of Iris Warbler? You're half an hour late. Does none of you own a working watch? You're Lena? Isla seeking toward Trojan. She does not answer Isla's question. Instead, she quickly inspects the members of the squad. I already know about you and Iris Warbler, so we can skip the introductions. I'll be joining this mission as a reserve member. Pleasure to be working with you. She gives an expressionless nod, not showing a bit of pleasure on her face. Welcome to the squad! Isla smiles as usual and reaches out her hand. Facing the palm awaiting her, Lena purses her lips and briefly shakes Isla's hand before quickly withdrawing her hand. Enough of the introductions, let's get to the main event. Let me share with you some intel I gathered on the city. You've already started exploring the city? Yes, I'm a construct built for recon work, and I've been here for a few days already, so I took the opportunity to investigate the city a little bit. After comparing my intel with Babylonia's, let me answer some questions and queries you may have first. To start off with, how the city came to be as the general staff has suspected. The city is indeed currently maintained by mechanoids, and according to my observations, their AI levels have exceeded their original threshold. Then it really is like the orphanage. Not quite. In most areas, the mechanoids are not aggressive toward outsiders. Their behavior pattern is quite unique. It's a bit unique. At least to me, it's a bit incomprehensible. But based on my observation, there is nothing of interest in the outer parts. It may look glamorous, yet there's nothing but empty shells inside. It may sound confusing if you can't see it, so let's do as Isla suggested and head toward the center first. I'll lead the way. Okay, let's go. Hey, oh, this article, hard. Let's go. Under Lena's lead, Iris Warbler sets off for the windmill by walking alongside the main road. Isla suggests a short break as they reach a plaza near the windmill. They're almost at the core of Constellia. They've yet to encounter a single mechanoid up until this point, but the spinning windmill, the flashing building lights, and the irregularly changing signal lights all signify that the city is currently operating due to some unknown existence. Something just feels off. And the only one out of the four who's actually lived in the Golden Age, Trojan, sighs at the clean streets and endless lines of buildings. Different from Babylonia, which is heaven for only a chosen few, Earth used to be covered in bustling cities that could house millions of people. Did the people of the Golden Age live in places like this? Not all of them, but at least when I was born, more than 90% of human settlements have been highly urbanized. Oh, Infinite Gallery, dude. Oh, the Hikari motif is hitting, dude. God. Although not all cities were as grand as this one, they were definitely better than our conservation areas nowadays, with no problem supporting the daily lives of its citizens. Most of the production processes was carried out by machines. Humans were free to live their dreams. The Renaissance, the age of enlightenment, the industrial evolution, the flower of civilization was able to bloom thanks to hundreds of years of history. And that is the Golden Age. What we see now is just the tip of the iceberg. Yet the outbreak of the punishing virus was able to destroy all of that within decades. How ironic. Sadly, that is also true. Humans nowadays can only try to comprehend the knowledge of the Golden Age through images and books. Even the professionals at the WGAA, there's always a barrier when we try to understand the thoughts and concepts back then. Even when humans win against the punishing virus and rebuild their civilization, there will never be another Golden Age. However, since the Hetero Tower has been reversed, it is rumored that the Babylonia has been planning the reconstruction of the surface. The discoverer of Constellia at this point in time is too much of a coincidence. This area has always been a dead zone. How are the mechanoids able to rebuild the city without being infected? Let's put that question aside for a moment. If the mechanoids only wanted to secure their living space, there's no need to preserve this area to perfection like this. Trying their best to preserve these ruins for the past, is it not because of nostalgia? Isn't the goal of our mission to find that out? Lena removes herself from the others, staring blankly into the distance. By the way, why did you join the squad? With your qualifications, you could have joined any squad you fancied. Are you secretly an art lover? That's my choice. It doesn't concern you. Oh, you're not going to satiate my curiosity for a bit? You're the one talking, Trojan. I hate people who pretend to be mysterious. Since we're teammates, I thought I'd be able to know more about the task force from you guys. My frame data and non-confidential qualifications are all listed on the squad list. The other parts do not concern you. They're relevant to the mission. I wish to decrease the frequency of a small talk. We are a squad, not a tourist group. So cold. As Isla and the others were chatting away, Sika had been trying to re-establish contact with HQ from her personal terminal. It's no use. It just won't connect. It's not going to work. I've already tried it. The city is using some unique interference that blocks all electromagnetic signals from outside. All normal long-distance communication devices are useless here. But our short-distance comms within the squad should not be affected. We can also locate each other through mind connection. Right, about the abnormal mechanoid in the city. I have a few pictures. It should be clearer than the ones Babylonia has. Let me send them to you. Oh, I guess there's no need. Nina looks toward the corner of the street. Oh? Create. I have to finish creating before Matisse. My work is 100 times better than his. Haha. No? The mechanoid passes through the streets without noticing the four of them in the plaza. Is that the normal mechanoid mentioned in the report? Since he's here, why don't we follow him? It's a part of our investigations. You're right, we should record his behavioral patterns. Yeah. The mechanoid finally stops in front of a city wall. The wall is already covered in all kinds of colors and shapes. He activates the spray paint module connected to his arm and splatters new colors on these rainbow walls. As long as I can cover this wall with my colors, then Area B2 will belong to us, the fantastical mechanical impressionists. Those damn surrealist mechanical fauvists thinking they can surpass me in the understanding of colors by using new palette modules. What a joke. I understand the Great Brazil. What a joke. The Great Brazil, will not permit that. A bit of color here, and then edit this part. The fantastical mechanoid impressionists will reclaim the city while you cowards are too scared to come out. Ah, the laugh sounds so evil. Is that really something a mechanoid can generate? In a corner, the members of the Iris Warbler are observing this mechanoid who calls himself Bazel. Is he painting? Wondrous, isn't it? Wondrous, isn't it? A lot of mechanoids here do that. Did you notice those incomprehensible ads and graffiti when we were walking on the streets? Those are all their masterpieces. These mechanoids seem to possess a deep obsession with art. They even have different factions who occupy different areas of the city. Mechanoids obsessed with art? Wouldn't it be similar to Nozzle, whom Grey Raven found before? I remember Nozzle was kept by the WGAA for research after Grey Raven retrieved him. Do you know anything, Isla? Isla? Just as Sika turns to ask Isla for opinions, Isla has already stepped out of their hiding place. The pink-haired construct storms toward the dueling Brazil, her eyes filled with rage that could even melt steel. I can't stand this anymore! Isla raises her fist and shouts toward the mechanoid. Omega lol. Bruh. What? Sorry. Hey you, what do you think you're doing? Why? Startled by Isla's sudden outburst, Bazio frantically tries to scurry away without a specific direction in mind. He ends up crashing into the wall with a bang and falling over as he loses balance. The whole scene is quite comedic. This wall was originally covered with someone else's art, was it not? How could you ruin others' work without permission? I don't know what kind of ideals war you have going on, or if it's a personal grudge. But if you can't pay the minimal respect toward other creators, then don't expect others to respect your work. I'm sorry, don't take me away. I don't want to be disassembled. Eh? Lena is dumbfounded by Isla's actions. Is that what they call the rage of artists? This is the first time I've seen Isla so angry. Either way, let's go. What should I do? Cervantes was right. Cicely and Monet are both gone, and now me. You really gave him quite a fright, Isla. Huh? Was that too aggressive? Bruh. Man, this is great. I love it. After Isla calms down, she looks at the trembling Basile. Realizing that she went a bit overboard, she scratches her head apologetically. But if we don't properly educate him on his behavior, he won't notice his mistake. Parts, disassembly, sob. I still haven't revived fantastical mechanical impressionism yet. My end is here. He's so different from how he was before. But isn't he overreacting a bit? I didn't say anything that scary. We're not going to do anything to you. Really? Are you not constructs from Babylonia? The ones who want to bring us back and dissect us for research? We are from Babylonia, but we wouldn't do anything like that without reason. No, since he's a normal mechanoid of the city, isn't it our responsibility to send a sample back to the Science Council? Children, stop teasing him like that. At least for now, we just want to find out more about this city. But he didn't mention other mechanoids being abducted. I think that's not a lie. If these mechanoids are trying to avoid being captured by someone, then what we saw before makes sense. Are there other teams here carrying out other missions other than us? If that's the case, HQ would have notified us. The mechanoid he referred to as Cervantes, he seemed to know that Babylonia was going to send someone over. Well, to be fair, we were invited over. You're Bazil, right? Who's this Cervantes you speak of? And what is it about Babylonia abducting mechanoids? If you answer our questions truthfully, we'll let you go. Isla kneels down and smiles at Bazil. Cervantes is our spiritual leader. We followed him here and rebuilt the abandoned city to how it is now. Us mechanoids who want to learn more about the art left behind by the sage have turned the city into our base. We want to recreate the emotions that the sage has inspired in us. But Cervantes' power never joins us. He is always in his museums and the tower left behind from the Golden Age. 2 months ago, he suddenly announced that people from Babylonia would be coming to this city and told us to hide. He even went as far as to ask us to leave the city. But the streets are our battlefield. If we don't occupy it, it will be occupied by those surrealist mechanical favis and multi-dimensional mechanical qubits. Us fantastical mechanical impressionists are the originals and most traditional. We cannot lose to those who came after. So Sicily and Monet didn't heed Cervantes' warning, and they were never seen again after coming out to the streets. Cervantes looks like he's the mechanoid we're looking for. But 2 months ago? Babylonia still hasn't found anything about the existence of Constella yet 2 months ago. 2 months ago. Looks like the situation is more complicated than we think. What descendants have pretended to be constructs from Babylonia? With the effect of the Hetero Tower, they would look like normal constructs if they suppressed the punishing virus within them. We can't rule out that possibility. 2 months ago, someone from Babylonia? Whale Song? Selena? No, you wouldn't do something like this. I'm sure you wouldn't. Lena, have you been to the museums Bazio mentioned? No, I've only investigated the perimeters. But the museum is surrounded by surround the windmill, so if you want to get to the windmill, we would have to pass the museums. Looks like we got a clear objective and a route now. Let's go. The 4 of them replan their route. Just as they're about to leave, Isla stops. She turns to look at the wall covered in graffiti of Kyrios shapes and symbols. Bazil has already stood up, but when his gaze meets Isla's, he starts to tremble again. Isla just smiles at him. Art created by mechanoids, huh? I would love to understand it more in depth, if possible. About the differences and the factions you mentioned and why they fight one another. And the art of the sage you worship so much. Please, tell us more about you guys if we do meet again. Before that, remember to properly apologize to the artist of this painting. Got it? Of course. Well then, goodbye. Alright, since the situation doesn't look that good, you should get back to somewhere safe. We'll keep an eye out for your missing friends. And once this is all over, you can have your proper showdown against the other factions. If you're going to win, might as well do it with style. Isla signs Bazil with a V sign with her finger, signaling victory and peace before rejoining her teammates. Bazil stares after Isla, lost in thought, until she disappears on the horizon. For some reason, he is reminded of a wanderer they had met not long ago. Oh, it's Lena. Oh yeah, definitely Selena. Hey yo. Art by mechanoids? I'm really interested in your creations. Can you tell me more about you guys? Yo, okay, let's go. Okay, so Selena was here. Okay. So it's all about chasing down Selena this time. Okay. Let's do the last one for today. Composition 8. Okay, let's go. The extension of the red carpet stops at a shut door. This museum is the outermost one among all. Iris Warbler has reached here without a problem. From the decorations, sculptures, and words on the outside, it no doubt screams welcome to all passerby. But paired with deafening silence, it makes the whole scene a bit eerie. Looks like it's not just somewhere one passes to get to the windmills. It's worth investigating, and so the three constructs look over at Sika. Let's investigate it then. Roger. Not wasting a second. Isla makes her way over to the control panel and wakes up the system. It was not as hard as she imagined, but the door to the museum opened up after a few clicks of a button. Now for the final question. Who should be the vanguard in this limited space? Looking at Sika, who's deep in thought, Trojan steps forward. Even though she keeps insisting that she isn't at her prime anymore, she's still a tank. Oh, she's a tank construct. Okay, she's a tank. Okay. Also, quick thing, Kuro. Trojan when? Because we do need like a new lightning tank or something. Trojan when, Kuro? We do need a new physical tank, to be fair. Leave it to me! Isla shouts passionately as she enters the museum. Lena and Trojan glance at each other until the latter shrugs. Since she has a new frame, then let her lead. It is a good chance to observe firsthand what Kaleido can do. Okay. Let's go then. Let's go. Let's start from the beginning. Hey, let's go. So this is the art museum in the city center? Yo, okay, let's go. Path of light in the back, let's go. Welcome, visitors. Allow me to take you through the exhibition. This way, please. Yeah, Constella, Central Art Museum Hall. Okay. An art museum built by mechanoids. Everything... Okay. What will show up in the hall? Please bear with me for one moment. Here is an overview of the art museum. Yo, okay. Man, Kuro's environmental design is just great, dude. It's one of the best. Not gonna lie. Please follow this order and start your tour. Was that a hologram? Hey, this feels incredibly mechanical. Okay. Explain detailed information about the Arctic Route Union Hall. An economic union formed by the trading ports around the Arctic Circle. One of the biggest 4 economic entities in the Golden Age. Okay. Recreating data. Hey, Rosetta! Okay. The Arctic Route Union. I really miss strong alcohol flavor. Okay, damn, okay. We're really going through it all, huh? Explain detailed information about the Kowloon Hall. Yeah. Kowloon, a regional commercial organization in the Golden Age in coastal cities of East Asia, with well-developed trade and shipbuilding businesses and a Kyrios-class armed dreadnought Niter. It's one of the biggest 4 economic entities in the world. Recreating data. Oh, Q! Hey, yo! Man, it's so good to see the old bosses again, dude. It's Kowloon. I've been several times after Niter docked. Please continue browsing the designated order. Man, I love how it's just going through all of our memories in this game, dude. Forest Park Hall. Puella Forest Park, a peaceful and quiet forest park. One of the famous Golden Age human tourist spots. Oh, and the music that's goes alongside it is just... Man, it's peak. Oh, dude, I love it. This is... Do you recognize this place? It doesn't ring a bell for me. No, not really. Dude, this is awesome, dude. The memories. Displaying about the hall? Oh, encrypted data. Okay, it's encrypted, eh? Data encrypted? Is this a bug? The gypsum statue surely doesn't seem smart. Okay. Please browse only in the designated order. Please browse only in designated order. What's happening? Did we trigger anything? No, it doesn't seem like the case. Oh, damn. Oh, God. Oh, damn. Anyways, everyone, get ready for battle. Oh, God. That ain't good. Okay, let's do it. Hey, yo. Oh, God.
The colors are
Oh, yo. Oh, okay. That's actually a cool thing. Oh, yo, that's actually pretty cool. They actually have, like, dialogues. So. Oh, that's so cool.
the colors are
Okay. Alright, done. Yo, this is actually super sick. The presentation on this is amazing, dude.
Behold, a world of imagination.
Alright, let's go.
Let's change the future in these new colors.
Clever. Okay.
Behold, a world of imagination. The colors are... The canvas is ready. My ideas are blooming.
Oh. Okay, something happened. Oh, Infinite Galar going hard, man. The lobby alarm is still not disarmed. The mechanic statues continue to attack toward Iris Warbler. The statues' movements are not complex, but they have the advantage in numbers. No matter how many they defeat, there are always new ones that appear out of nowhere to replace them. Sika cannot predict where the next batch of enemies will strike next, and since Iris Warbler is still a new team, their cooperation is far from flawless. If they continue on like this, it's just a matter of time for the mechanic statues to break their defenses. They keep coming! The bullets rapidly fired from her tactical pistol hits the weak joints of statues. Sika was the best shooter in her class, but no matter how accurately she shoots now, it still cannot make up for the disadvantage of armor. She has to shoot half of her magazine before the mechanic statue ceases its movements. The usefulness of a commander in this level of battle is limited. Get behind me! We'll be in trouble if you get hurt! The alloy arrow soars through the air and pierces through the few statues in front of Sika with force. This isn't ending anytime soon. We need to find a way to make them stop. Sparks fly from the beam blade and the heavy tonfas as they hit the statues. Isla and Trojan have been bearing most of the burden as vanguards. Isla can still manage with her new frame, but the squall of the mine damage is starting to show for Trojan as time goes on. We'll probably activate the security system in the museum. If we're talking about Golden Age formats, then these security statues are most probably remotely linked to the system. Thanks for the info, but what's the point? The point is if we can hack in the firewall of the museum and shut off the alarm, then the statues won't move anymore. And does anyone here have a frame that has hacking functions? Heads up. Not me. I may have the name as the famous computer virus, but don't expect an old relic from the Golden Age like me to be able to hack. This is the first time I'm seeing people say they're useless with such confidence. Fine, I'll hack the system, but I'm not a support type, so I'll have to use more primitive methods. Hang in there till I get back. Relying on the spatial data from the scan, Lena finds a hidden node port in the lobby. She takes out a specialized arrow from her quiver. This arrow contains a mining terminal, which can utilize the construct's computing power to break through from outside. She plugs this arrow, which is connected to her frame, into the port. Instantly, a large amount of data swarms her mind. She focuses on processing these data shards, trying to find a point for her to penetrate through. Damn it, this frame! Lena lost as an offensive asset. Sika has to get Isla and Trojan to shrink their defensive area. But that also implies the enemies will also attack more frequently. As a commandant, she could feel the continuous turmoil in Trojan's mind. Why do I feel like there's an increase in enemies? It's the system's level 2 security protocol. It detected me trying to hack it through the port. Give me some more time. Waves after waves of mechanic statues appear with no end in sight. They seem to have determined Lena to be the biggest threat, targeting their attacks at Lena, making it hard for Isla and Trojan to defend. If only it can help. Lena, you're 11 o'clock. Enemies are heading over. Trojan hits a statue in the head with her tonfa as she turns toward Lena. But she is already at her limits, trying to take care of those mechanoids in front of her, and cannot take on any more. Damn it, just a bit more. Don't worry, I got you covered. Idiot, what are you doing? Secret Artery lunged toward the statue before Lena can finish her sentence. She's nimble as an apodide. Her tactical dagger slips into her hand and she accurately stabs the statue in its neck joint. The dagger emits an electromagnetic pulse, instantly demobilizing the statue. Ayo, let's go! That's my kohai! Let's go! Let's go! Not wasting a second, she turns and pounces onto another mechanoid, rapidly pulling the trigger and shooting directly into the statue's chest. Annihilating two statues in a row with a surprisingly imposing manner, Sika grits her teeth and shoots on nearby statues with her pistol. But even the newest pistol with expanded magazines would come come a moment when it exhausts itself. Without a choice, she smashes her pistol into the memory shell of the statue in front of her. Its blaster face cracks, but the red glow of its eyes indicates that this hit was not enough to take it out. Shring! A howling spark shines in front of Sika. A nice blueberry energy stream sweeps past, blasting away the mechanoids in front of Sika like a lawnmower. Not far away, the muzzle of Isla's gun is sizzling with white smoke, indicating that the energy blast was shot from it. Why didn't you take that out earlier? Well, this is my last resort, because it was made according to the blast hammer data of Skyer. I don't know if it'll work or not. Kyrios insists that I added this function when I was brainstorming this new frame. I really should thank her for when I get back. The beam blade flickers as if one hit has used up all of its stored energy. Alright, and disarm! Just as Lena announced this, the blaring alarm finally stops, and the remaining statues cease their attacks. Sika, are you alright? Isla half kneels and extends her hands to Sika, helping her up. Yes, I'm fine. Sorry, I didn't expect them to suddenly attack us like that and I panicked. It's not your fault, they seemed pretty normal at the beginning. I don't recall us doing anything that could have enraged them. I don't think we triggered the alarm. Or is this a trap set up by the mechanoid called Corvantes? Isla studies the scattered statue pieces on the ground. After a series of fierce battles, this meticulously designed space is now in ruins. Spending so much effort in curating the museum and just letting it get destroyed as a battlefield to get rid of intruders? Just as she gets lost deep in thought, a small wave of quarreling can be heard from behind. What in the world are we thinking back there? Why did you protect me? The usually calm and collected Lena is now furiously shouting at Sika. What if you get seriously injured? What would this construct connected to you do then? Her eyes are clouded by a complicated haze, as if what she is seeing is not Sika, who's standing in front of her, but a past memory she does not dare to recall. You're not a newbie on the first mission. Do you not possess this bit of common sense? Even if I get injured, I have to change my parts and get fixed. And even if I die here, you can still lead the remaining members to finish the mission. But you, the core of a squad, is their commandant. Did the FOS not teach you the survival rate of a squad without a commandant? Why did you respond to that squad's SOS signal? We should focus on the battle on the front lines. Don't you know to weigh the pros and cons before making decisions as a commandant? That squad is stranded deep within enemy territory. It's a suicide mission. Your job is to stabilize our minds with your mind beacon. Tactics? What kind of tactics can someone who's never set foot in war come up with? I admit my actions were rash. As the commandant, I should have prioritized my own safety, because on the battlefield, the commandant is the construct's lifeline. But in our case, just now, protecting you was the priority, because without you hacking the systems, the battle would have been prolonged and we would have been at even more of a disadvantage. That was my judgment of the situation, as the commandant. Lena relaxes her fists and sighs defeatedly. I apologize for my outburst. It is partially my fault as a scout for not being able to predict the situation. Let's not waste any more time here and move on. As if running away from something, Lena leaves the lobby through the exit on the side. Let's go. Trojan pats Sika's shoulder before following after Lena. I think she was worried about your safety. I know. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stop here for now. So, yeah. So far, pretty good chapter. I'm really liking the introduction of all the new characters. Honestly. Really loving the introduction of new characters. And honestly, I'm really liking the group so far. I really like how Lena is giving more of a bit... How Lena is contrasting Isla's more joyful and passionate and energetic nature, while Lena is more cynical and, you know, more realistic and cynical. So, yeah, overall, so far, this chapter go hard. So, yeah, overall, love it. Anyways, I think that's it going to be for... Cut. Anyways, I think that's going to be it for the stream today. So, if you guys liked the stream, please give this stream a like. And also, if you want to see more, please drop a follow or subscribe. Also, let me know what you thought of the video down in the comments below. And remember to stay humble and be kind to people. And see you guys later.